Muppet Christmas Carol on Blu-ray versus the Disney Plus 4K Dolby Vision stream. This is my absolute favorite rendition adaptation of Christmas Carol. All right, so this is a still frame of the Blu-ray. Dang, I don't even know if you can actually see it. Anyway, it's a pretty good Blu-ray, but there are little specks and things like that. There's like this weird little one that I thought was like a smudge on my TV that stays during the opening credits. Anyway, there's a bunch of like specks like that, and on the Disney Plus 4K Dolby Vision, it is totally cleaned up. It looks really good, which makes me upset because I want to have the disc of the best version, not stupid streaming of the best version. Okay, so this is the stream, the Disney Plus 4K Dolby Vision stream, which is extremely frustrating to navigate because it's stupid streaming and it has to buffer every 2 seconds. But if you look at this, you'll see that those black specks that were up here and then that weird smudge over here are gone. So whatever 4K transfer that they have on Disney Plus has been cleaned up, and it looks really good if they will stream you the actual quality, which I've seen it done, but for whatever reason it's like it's on automatic. I have it set to the highest possible, but even so it can decide to just cut data, so it doesn't look as good right now. So I'm going to switch to the Blu-ray because it's stable and is a really good looking Blu-ray. But I do want to say I'm very frustrated that there's not a 4K disc of the 4K Dolby Vision transfer of this, because if you can actually stream it and if they will actually stream the data, it looks really nice. Okay, and then here's back to the Blu-ray, which again, you can see these little specks. And I know these little specks aren't a big deal, but these are just typical of the Blu-ray transfer that looks pretty clean, but it has some little spots. So those are just examples. Obviously, these aren't like, it's ruining the movie. Okay, very quick observations of the 4K stream versus the Blu-ray. Someone's pointing a sword at me, threatening my life. Help. Okay, that's definitely been resolved, and I'm definitely no longer in danger at all. And no one's telling me to say this. Okay. Okay, the key differences between the Blu-ray and the 4K stream, other than that streaming's dumb, is that the Blu-ray's lighter in color. It's just like the brightness has been cranked up. There's a little bit of dirt specks here and there, and yeah. And then the 4K is a lot more detailed, and then the lights and darks look a lot better, and you can see a lot more detail inside of every single color. So like there's some parts that are washed out in the Blu-ray that in the 4K you can actually see the full gradation of details in there. So it definitely looks better, and I want a 4K disc of this, dang it. Moving on. Okay, so this is my favorite version of of Christmas Carol, and not just because of the life-changing, heartwarming lessons and making me want to be a better person, and because it's Muppets, but also because there's so many details. Stuff like this. Listen. Hang on. Did you hear that guy? Hey, quiet down, you melons! And then one of the little vegetables getting stolen. Here. Is it good? Every time I buy produce, I imagine the little vegetables screaming at me, "Hey, I'm being stolen!" All right, here's another very odd detail. So you've got the ye old turkey salesman here, and I turn on subtitles because I couldn't believe what he was saying. It's just very odd. I think there's a lot of weird implications here. I think there's something sketchy going on here. Look at this. He tells his turkey's named Martin. He pops out. He's like, "Get back in the box there, Martin." It's like him and the turkey are like partners in some kind of scam or something. I don't know why he's called Martin. Anyway, I love Scrooge right here. Watch his stick action.
Yes, Mr. Scrooge?
Who is this?
It's Mr. Applegate, sir. He's here to speak.
He just points it right in his face. It's like, who is this? All right, so here is Scrooge's dear nephew, and I think this guy does a really good job. But there's something that he does on this part right here that's always just weirded me out. Okay, while he's talking to Scrooge, it's like, what is he looking at? It's like he's looking at Scrooge, but he keeps looking away from Scrooge. Watch his eyes. It's weird.
I believe that Christmas has done me good and will do me good, and I say, God bless it.
I don't know. I don't know what he's looking at. He keeps looking off to the side. It's weird. Humbug. All right. We're going to put this to bed right here. So, my whole life, I thought that Beaker flips off Scrooge when he leaves the door. And I laughed at it, and I pointed it out to people, and I laughed at it, and I pointed it out to people, and I laughed at it. And I watched it, and I laughed at it, and I'm like, he's flipping him off. And I told people about it like it was a dirty secret at school, passing it around. But we're going to look at it right now. All right, so here we are in real time. Okay, now we're going to look at it closer. Replay. All right, so here is Beaker, Exhibit A. Exhibit B, specifically his hand. Exhibit C, specifically the middle finger on his hand. So here we go. We're going in slow motion. Here it comes up the hand. Oh, that's too fast. That's too fast. Sorry. Okay. Here we go again. Okay, moving slow. Moving slow this time. Maybe too slow. There we go. Right there. Okay. See that? What do you see there? So, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a 4-fingered creature. This little thing. You got thumb right here. You got his index finger. And then you have his pinky and ring finger are stuffed into this one here. So he's going like... He's like this. What's he doing? He's like... So these two are stuck together. He's going like this. He's going like that. Even though in our hearts, we want him to be flipping him off because that's funny and makes for a good elementary school scuttlebutt. All right, we're going to look at it again. Okay, yep. So that's his hand. It's like this, and he's pointing, right? You can see the fingers. Otherwise, it would be up like this, and you would see more fingers on this side. But he's definitely just pointing. So, being completely, so I'm putting that rumor to bed. He's not flipping him off, but I'm really disappointed about it. I was really disappointed when I found out that he's not flipping him off. Okay, one last word on it. So this is another movie that growing up we were forced to watch every single year on VHS as a family, which honestly was an experience that I really enjoyed because I really love this movie. But on VHS, that's not as detailed, and so that rumor was allowed to persist. So I think it'd probably be really creepy for me to go to like a playground during recess up to the chain link fence and be like, hey, kids, come here, and just like correct them and be like, he's not flipping him off, and just like ruin the playground rumor. I think I'll just let it go, but he's not. Okay, so Gonzo has fallen into the snow because the horse reared because the doorknob came alive. But, and look at little Hogwarts rat there. Okay, check it out. I love this part.
Mr. Dickens, Charlie, are you hurt?
To say that Scrooge was not startled would be untrue.
Oh man, this is so good. I think my kids enjoy watching this because we are laughing during the whole time, and maybe it makes it less scary for them. I'll just say we did watch it with the kids, and they did really enjoy it, and they were engaged the whole time, and I think they get scared on a few parts, but I could not get any thoughts on camera. They were very wiggly. Okay, so he's getting visited by some ghosts here, and it's normally just Jacob Marley in the original story, but they had to have these two hecklers in here, and so I think it's interesting what the other one's name is.
We were your partners, Jacob and Robert Marley.
So Jacob and Robert Marley, so Bob Marley. That's funny, because his name is Bob Marley. Ha. I see what you did there. I love Sam Eagle in this movie. And by the way, after this movie, the release of this movie, there's no proper way to say business other than this way that Sam Eagle says it. It's the only way. If you're saying it any other way than he says this right here, you're wrong.
Who become a man of business?
I'm looking forward to it, Headmaster.
You will love business. It is the American way.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the right way to say it. Business. Okay, so the coachman has arrived to take young Ebenezer and Sam Eagle or whatever, and Sam Eagle has some really good business advice for him. Listen.
Remember, don't tip the driver.
She heard what he said. He said, remember, don't tip the driver. All right, very serious discussion topic here. This is my hot and sweaty hot take right here. It's also a spicy hot take. Okay. There's normally a song right here in the bad version of this movie. But watch how this version flows. The good version.
I love you, Bill.
She says, you did once.
You did once.
And then, what happens? I'll tell you what happens. She walks, and everyone's sad. And she leaves. She leaves, and everyone's sad. And everyone wants... Okay, so she walks away, and everybody's sad. And that's it. There's no song. There's no movie pace shattering, awful song that goes on forever. This is the better version of the movie. This is my spicy, hot, sweaty take here. I do not like the When Love Is Gone song, I think. I mean, it's like a good song and it's performed well, but I think that it just slaughters the pace of the movie. It just kills it. Totally kills it. I think it kind of ruins the focus. I think this part here, you still get the point that old Scrooge is watching young Scrooge and his girlfriend not be in love anymore, and that it's sad. And then Scrooge is like, oh, don't show me anything else. Get me out of here. And like everyone's crying. We do not need that song. Is bad. Is bad song. All right. I know a lot of people prefer the extended version or full version or uncut version of this movie, but I hate that song. I think it kills the pace. I know there's an argument at the end where they have kind of the reprise of that song where they say when love is found. And I don't think it hurts the movie. And I don't think it's like, what's this song? I've never heard a different version of this song. The song works in the plot and you move on and it has a happy ending. We don't need this thing. We don't need it. Boop. Plus, if we remove that terrible, slow, awful pace-killing song, we leave more room for gems of cinema like this right here. Watch this guy right here. This is so good. One more time for good measure. Look at him. Okay. I think I may have been pushing pause on this part. But look at this. So he gets hit in the face, and then he starts like fighting this guy. I'm going to unpause it. Here we go. And he just like starts pushing him, and then the other guy's like crying, and he's like headbutting him. That is truly one of the great moments in this movie.
Yes, when you do your best for love, it feels like Christmas.
And here is Kermit talking about Jesus.
He hoped that people saw him in church because it might be pleasant for them to remember upon Christmas Day who made lame beggars walk and
There.
blind men see.
Who?
A remarkable child.
Yeah, in case you didn't know, that's Kermit talking about Jesus right there. And right here is one of the most powerful messages of the whole movie and why I love it. It makes me want to do better.
A life can be made right.
Right there. A life can be made right. Straight from Ebenezer Scrooge's mouth. And I just think that's incredibly powerful. This movie tells you that you can start being better right now and you will improve the future. And if you start being better right now, your future will be better. And that's my wife's line. But also, you being better right now will have ripple effects that will affect so many more people than you can possibly imagine. So I love this movie. I love the story of Christmas Carol, but this specific movie, he is so good, and his arc, I guess, is very powerful and very convincing in it. Like I said, it always makes me want to do better. Okay, this is an oft-quoted part of this movie. Little Hogwarts rat here is asking about Tiny Tim, and I just love how Gonzo says it.
Tim? Tiny Tim, who did not die.
Oh, swell.
Tiny Tim, who did not die. So anytime anyone goes on an adventure and they come back, or you're talking about someone that went on an adventure and they didn't die, you say their name and you could say, who did not die. Okay, and they end on, of course, a very rare thing nowadays.
May that truly be said of us and all of us. And so, as Tiny Tim observed, God bless us.
God bless us, everyone.
Aw. Anyway, I just think that's really rare in movies, especially Disney movies. Oh my gosh. Not Disney movies. Anyway, okay. So this is the scene where people will argue that you shouldn't take out that horrible song earlier, because then these guys, when they sing and it has the same tone and it's like When Love Is Found. But I don't think so. I think the movie flows through better to its conclusion, and I think we get the exact same story and character beats. I just think that other song is fluff, even though it is well performed. I will give it that. Okay, Muppet Christmas Carol on Blu-ray. It looks and sounds great. Unfortunately, it looks and sounds a lot better on the Disney Plus stream with the 4K and the Dolby Vision. Like, it's not a huge improvement, but it's definitely better, and it's definitely my preferred way to watch it. It just sucks watching stuff on streaming, especially when sometimes they change the quality. So I would love a 4K disc of this movie to have that consistently throughout. Anyway, I love this movie. Let me know what you think of this movie, and thank you for sticking with it, because this is a long one. And that's it. Bye.